Hey guys, so today I thought I would make a very quick video about books that I have read in February, and I have 4 books here with me. And so let's start with the first one, which was, what is it, The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I have to say that I was a little bit disappointed by this book. I remember buying this after I saw it on a list of magic realism books. I remember I just finished 100 Years of Solitude and I wanted more, and so I looked up a list of magic realism books, and this was quite high up there. But I was quite disappointed, unfortunately. There is this kind of sense of mystery at the beginning, but I found it very predictable, and I thought the way the resolutions to the mysteries were delivered was very poor. So not only did I thought it isn't really magic realism, I also found it quite predictable and not particularly enjoyable, unfortunately. But the next book that I read, I enjoyed very much, which was The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. I made a separate video on this where I talk about it in more length as a part of my Czech authors series, and this is a kind of a philosophy heavy book, but it doesn't feel like it because it's written so elegantly that it just flows so effortlessly and playfully. It's full of wonderful thoughts on life and on being and on love, and I highly recommend this. Even though I realize I am recommending a translation, I do put my trust into the translators, and I do highly recommend this book. This is gonna be quite short. The next book I read was The Night Train by Martin Amis, and I read this. This is a kind of a detective story, but not really. It's more like a parody of one. And I read this based on a recommendation by Sophie from Portals in the Pages. And in her video, she says that this book is very clever and very good, and I suppose it is, but I have to say that when I finished it, I wasn't quite sure if I saw in it whatever it was that she saw in it. And so I looked up some reviews and I read some discussions on this book, and it turned out I did understand it, but I did miss some of the implications, some of the consequences kind of resulting from the ending of this book. And so I suppose it is very good and clever, but from my experience it wasn't quite as good as clever as I thought it might be. But I do recommend you read this book simply so that you can test yourself, test whether you understand the book quite how it is meant to be understood. And the last book I read was Slapstick or Lonesome No More by Vonnegut. Now, I do like Vonnegut. All of these are actually Vonnegut. His books are absolutely crazy, but they're good crazy. There's some good thought behind that crazy. But the thing is that whenever I read Vonnegut's book, I feel like I'm reading the same book over and over again. I have read 5 of his books now, and they have kind of merged into one, and I am no longer distinguish between them, which, I mean, is not necessarily bad. I think I will keep on reading his books, because even if it feels like I'm reading the same thing again, at least the thing is very, very good. So read Vonnegut. And as per what I'm currently reading, I started reading Gravity's Rainbow, and I'm not quite sure I should have started. I am really struggling with this. I am only about 50 pages in, and already it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. From what I've gathered, it's kind of meant to, but I don't think that the degree of confusion is supposed to be quite as high as mine is at the moment. Because not only does the book itself make no sense, some of the sentences make absolutely no sense to me. I think I might be hindered a little bit by the fact that I'm not a native speaker, and so I think I bit off more than what I can chew. I think I'll keep on struggling for a little longer, and we'll see how I'm getting on. I'm a bit apprehensive. So yeah, this was a very quick video. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I hope it is. Let me know if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them. I'd be really interested to know. And thank you very much for being interested and for watching. Bye bye.